Hello Gemini, thank you for coming back if you're a returning subscriber. If you are new to the channel, welcome, thank you for joining me. Please don't forget to like and share or like and subscribe. This is a general reading, so aspects of it may apply to you or it could apply to somebody else that you're interacting with at this time. And you could see parts of this reading coming out in their life, and you're actually seeing that. There may be other videos of mine which you can watch, cross-watch too, if you are aware of other influences in your chart that you would normally follow, perhaps where your moon is located, the sign it's located, or your ascendant, whichever other signs that may be appropriate for you, you can cross-watch to those. I have already shuffled the cards and laid them out. I use the 12 houses of the zodiac, and then so as the cards are appearing in each house, then those are the influences that are coming to bear for you at this time. So bottom of the deck for this time round is Moon Soul, and Moon traditionally rules Cancer. So with this card coming in, when I was looking at your chart, there are a couple of themes which keep coming up. And this is about the need to take time out periodically. It's not a complete checkout or a complete escape from everything, but there are going to be times when you just need to pull yourself back into your shell and just have a little bit of time to assimilate what's happening around you and so on. Moon rules this card, so therefore there are cycles involved at the moment. You may be going through cycles of various kinds, or you yourself may be going through cycles. But it's also about moods. So watch your moods, watch how you're responding to others, and also about your habits, everything to do with that, your emotional life, which rules all of that. It's also about nurturing. So whether this is nurturing of yourself or of others, and food and culinary pursuits, enjoying cooking, things like that. Nurturing home life, family, all of those things are important with this card. It also does represent the past, so you may be reflecting a bit on the past at this time. It's fine to do that if you're going to get hindsight, you're going to get wisdom from it, but don't live there, okay? You need to move forward. It's also about harnessing your instincts and your intuition as well. So this may be very strong for you at this time, and you can put that to good use with your chart. It's also about being resourceful. Moon rules Cancer, Cancer the crab, and the crabs skitter along the shoreline picking up everything they need, and that's kind of what you've got to do. You need to be picking up what you need at this time. Also women and women's wisdom and female things, female wisdom, all things to do with female, so female issues, how women get on, how everything to do with the female may be coming up for you at this time. There could be overall themes affecting you. Then in the first house we have your destiny. First house is your house of yourself, everything to do with the self, how you look, how you appear to others, your physical body, your own habits, your own self-oriented interests. So what it is, your personal independence as well, how you are meeting the world at this time every day, the face you show, but it's everything to do with the self. So it's also your vitality and your life force as well. So first house, you've got your destiny in there this time round. So this is a card. It does have a sort of a stressful element to it because there's a lot of pressure down on one particular point. So it's pressure. There's a bit of stress. There may be a bit of turmoil going on around you, but this card, whatever is or is not happening, it's basically saying that you need to do things on your own. You may just be feeling alone or feeling out of it or feeling out of step from others at this time, but that's fine. It's a sort of a signal for you to be doing things on your own at this point, either working alone or spending time in privacy, or just busy with your own affairs, but doing them in your own way. So don't worry what others are thinking or saying at this time. You probably won't get support at this time or advice, but you don't really need it. because your inner knowing has got it. You just have to spend time in self-reflection to actually navigate from your own inner GPS, if you want to call it that. So you may also just be needing to weather through any difficulties or any stresses going on around you. Just keep going through all of that, and just keep focusing on one step at a time, exactly what it is you need to do. So think about each step, follow your intuition, follow your, how things are unfolding for you. Just have trust and faith that things are going to work out. This is a destiny card. So whatever is going to happen is going to happen. And it's a case of trusting the universe that no matter what is going down right now, that things are going to work out. So just keep following that path. Have trust and faith that things will sort themselves out according to divine plan. Yeah. Okay. Then in the second house we have air element communication. So this second house is everything to do with your income. It's to do with your self-worth and also your value systems. So everything to do with ownership and possession also falls under this. So what you own, what you possess, and your attitude towards values. Your values, what you value in yourself, what you value in others, and your self-worth is very much involved there. But it is also very much about your income, how you earn your income, how it's coming into you. It could be passive even. So with the air element communicating, this is everything to do with the air waves. So all forms of communication are very, very important, whether you need to be communicating perhaps with a financial advisor or with your people that you're earning income from, or it's your profession, whatever it is, however you earn your income, you need to be communicating about that in some way. It can be documents and contracts, but it can also be literally verbal or written communication. You may be receiving news of some kind or hearing something which is going to be important for you. You may be waiting for news, or you're hearing something. Something could come to you at this time which is going to impact what you're busy with. You're going to be sort of weighing up your options. This is a thinking things through card. It's a reasoning card because it's air element based. So thinking things through, weighing up your options. You need clarity of mind in order to make your decisions. So use your intellect, talk to others, get the information that you require, and then you can move forward. It's also very much the card of manifestation. So really, really, really important at the moment with the planetary situation. A lot of us are actually experiencing almost instant manifestation. So really, you want to be using that positively. So think positive and speak positive. And this is also to yourself. It's not just to other people or other people that are going on around you, but this is always to yourself first. So speak positively, think positively about yourself, and always put your best foot forward. And then you're going to manifest positive things and not things that you fear or you're unhappy about. This card is also going to bring in technology of some kind. So you may be investing in that, or you may be getting an upgrade. So this is a form of possession or ownership. Something is changing, but you perhaps need to improve your technology in some way to give you better access to things. So technology is indicated, and also travel may be coming in for you. You may be planning that from a financial point of view, or you may be needing to do that in some way. But visiting high places is also going to help you. So get out and about, get into mountainous areas, because that literally, when you raise yourself, you also raise your thinking. So get a new perspective. Go and do a bit of a mountain hike, or visiting high places if you can. Just get out. And as I said, travel may also be indicated, but it literally is visiting high places or having higher thoughts about things. Then in the third house, we have solar eclipse revolution. Third house is the house of communication, all forms. It's also the house of documents and contracts, and it's the house of short trips, local journeys. So this communication can be to the wider people around you, whether it's your business or your anybody in your environment. Can also be perhaps a profession for you, communication in general, or you work in the communication field, media or something like that. But it is also about specific communication to certain people, and this can be general family members like aunts, uncles, cousins, siblings, and also it can be neighbors as well, because it's everything to do with your local environment. Education also falls under this house as well. This is normally early education, okay? So with this card coming in for you, because it rules all forms of communication, this is written, verbal, even body language. You are going to be going through some change of some kind, whether this is affecting you in your environment, so in other words, it's coming for you and changing things, or it's the way that you are perhaps going about what it is that you're doing. Or it could be an important document or a contract. Something is coming in the communication house. It could also be a short trip. Perhaps you're going to have to go and do something. But basically, because it's appearing in your third house, normally this card is very swift changes, upheavals, overhauls, things like that go on. But because it's coming into your third house, this could be exchanges of some kind, swift, sharp, and almost life-changing, really. So you could be getting somebody talking to you, or you're talking to somebody else, but there certainly are swift changes coming, or swift exchanges going on. Some sort of overhaul, some sort of rearrangement. So whether this is the way you are marketing yourself perhaps, or the way you are communicating with others, or whether you're receiving certain things coming in for you, it's really all about your expression. So whatever upheaval comes about with the solar eclipse, it forces you to be present, to actually deal with whatever's coming up for you at that moment. And it's the way that you tackle that upheaval or that rearrangement or whatever is going down at that moment. It could be a really upsetting conversation. It could be news, like I said, that you're receiving, or you're giving news, or perhaps you're taking somebody to task, or you have to deal with something. Whatever it is, it's your expression. But it can also rule documents and contracts, as I said. So whatever it is, this thing that's going to occur in your life, this event, it's how you handle it, how you actually deal with it, your perception and your attitude towards that thing, which is going to lead you to mastery of some kind. So this is self-mastery, mastery of your words. It really is an old chapter falling away and a new chapter beginning. So endings and beginnings. Something familiar is going to be replaced. Something is going to fall away, and then a new thing is going to come in, and it's that upheaval that goes on while that is happening. It may also be that you are forced to fix or change something at this time. So you've got to dive in, boots and all, and sort it out, because you're going to create better from that, whatever that is that needs to be done. You could be coming to a decision. As I said, you could be forced to it. But whatever it is, it's going to be something that you're going to need to really, apply yourself wholeheartedly to fix or to change or to initiate. So it's best always if you're going to make that decision. Otherwise, the universe steps in, which is why the eclipse energy has this fearful element to it. People get afraid around eclipses. But really, it's to deal with the situation swiftly so that you can move forward. Fourth house, we have Jupiter abundance. So in your fourth house, this is your house of actual home and your relationship with your family. So this is home and family. It's your relationship with your family history, your foundation, your roots, your ancestry, your ethnic identity, and so on, and all of the entanglements that go on with that, and your view of your own personal, where you've come from. It's also your actual physical home, your house, or wherever it is that you're living. It's also where you are residing currently, the sort of people in your home, and the atmosphere in your home. So this fourth house rules all of that. So with Jupiter abundance, it's a lovely card to be having in here. So your home life is looking good with this card. So you're going to be having support there, that's for certain. With Jupiter around, you will have that. This brings in, it's big. Whatever is coming in with this, it's expansion. It's happiness, it's joy. It could be a windfall or a gift. It's relief even. If you've had a difficult situation, this card can bring in relief or rescue if you're facing something difficult. It also brings in opportunities. So whatever is coming for you, you need to jump quick and seize the moment. Because these opportunities, Jupiter does come, spend time, but it's not a slow-moving energy. This is quick. You need to follow up on any opportunities that this card brings you, and follow up on that and see what you can see how far it will take you. You need to harness your blessings, so you've actually got to work at them to bring them home to you. So you will see it, but you actually have to put effort in to actually bring it in, to reel it in towards yourself. So whether this is you changing your home, perhaps you're getting a new home, perhaps you are having to change something in your home, even a physical renovation, or it could be to do with the people in your home, or it could be to do with your relationship with your family, as I said. But relationships across the board improve with Jupiter around. There's contentment, there's joy, happiness, the potential for all of that. Obviously, it's up to you whether you want to accept that or not, but this card will bring it in, a lighter atmosphere. You may be having a breakthrough of some kind as well. And it can also be a yes card for you. So, but it's general expansion in all ways, whether it's emotional or actual physical to do with the home, but it's going to affect you in your 4th house. Then in the 5th house, we have Capricorn IUs. 5th house is the house of children, your children or somebody else's that you're associated with. It's also the house of your creativity, your brand, your expression. Your originality and your individuality. You know, when you put your stamp on something, that falls under the 5th house. It's also the house of love affairs and everything that goes down in that. It's also the house of all forms of recreational activities. Anything that you enjoy doing that's fun. It could even be sports. Whatever recreational activity you may be involved in. It's also, there is a sort of a risk element to this house, and it's the enjoyment of risk, so that can be gambling, but it can also be following the stock exchange and so on. So with the 5th house, Capricorn IUs coming on, that's exactly what it says. So use what is around you at this time, or it could be that your children may have to do this, and you may have to guide them through that. So this is about resourcefulness, being resourceful with everything that's going on around you. Harnessing whatever is around you to move you forward. So this card is also about bringing structure in, systems, long-term plans and goals. This is not a quick fix card. It's a slow-moving card. It's a slow-moving energy. It's about patience, determination. So step by step, but having a plan. So you may need to advise your children with this, or you may be needing to implement this in some way in your life. Even if it's a sports activity that you're involved in, it's about long-term plans and goals, building a solid foundation so that all achievement is possible from there. But you're going to need to be determined. You're going to need to harness that for yourself. You're going to have to be patient. You're also going to be making good contacts at this time in this house, or it could be to do with your children, as I said. So that's also about harnessing that. So the good contacts that you make, nurture those, because they're going to assist you in some way. You could be going into business in some way, perhaps where your creativity is coming in, projects that you're busy with, that's going to be coming in for you. One moment. Apologies for the interruption. Okay, so with this card in the 5th house, harness whatever contacts you may be making at this time, nurture them because they will assist you. You could be going into business, or perhaps a child of yours is, that may be coming up for you, because Capricorn is very much a business-oriented sign. It's a very ambitious sign, actually. So whatever is achieved in this house under the influence of Capricorn, you know, whatever solid foundations you put down, or any kind of sort of basis you put down, and it's solid, that will eventually lead to achievement, because that is what Capricorn ultimately wants, is achievement. So it's all about laying good foundations and building up from there. In the 6th house, we have Mars Force. So 6th house is the house of workplace, work colleagues, your work routines. It's also the house of health and diet and lifestyle, and the house of pets. So with Mars Force coming in, this is the warrior planet. So it's got that energy about it. So in your 6th house, it could be that you're facing a challenge or challenges of some sort, and you may have to compete or confront or even defend yourself in some way, or you're just going to have to tackle something with a lot of vigor. If it's to do with other people in this sixth house, it could be to do with ego issues, either yours or theirs or both. So that may have to be overcome. It could also be that you are, for some people, it's not going to apply to everybody, but for some people, they may feel like they're being bullied or bulldozed in some way. That can happen as well. Or it could just be that you are clearing the landscape for new things with this card. It's got a sort of a fiery element to it where you burn things away to clear the air and clear things up so that you can start fresh. But it's about moving ahead. It's about getting fired up over something. So the energy and the enthusiasm and the motivation is going to be there with this card in this house. So moving ahead in some way. But the best use of this energy is measured and steady action. That is the best way forward right now. Measured and steady action. Because otherwise the tendency is to rush around with this card and then you don't achieve too much. It's got to be directed correctly and then followed up. This could also just be that you're getting fired up about something, sort of passionate about something. So it's either passionate about your health or your lifestyle or a pet even. Or it could just be that your work, you're either changing work or you're tackling, going for a new project, something. But it's about being passionate about that energy coming to you. Pursue your goals with energy with this card. It could also be a sports activity because Mars definitely rules that. From a health and diet and lifestyle point of view, just be careful, as I said, with the rushing. You could have a little accident or accidents. You could also overheat, and then it ends up with, you end up with skin rashes and things like that, which is just because of too much going on. You need measured and disciplined action is the best. Also, higher blood pressure may be an issue, blood, hemoglobin, or just low iron, even iron levels, which can lead to fatigue and irritability and lack of sleep, and just not feeling great really. So just be careful of all of that. And if you are having to really put out the stops energetically, then look after yourself at the same time. Seventh house, another house that's working for you on this one. We've got Leo, I will. Seventh house is the house of relationships, close personal relationships, one-on-one relationships. So this can be a romantic, or it can be a business partnership, or some other close personal relationship. It's a lovely card to be coming in. It's got all the good stuff about it. It's got warmth, fun, romance, and sort of creativity comes in with this card. There's a childlike quality to it. Also spontaneity. So you may be needing to bring all these things into your committed relationship. This is not a love affair. This is a committed relationship, so like a marriage or an engagement or a long-term partnership of some sort. So this is a committed partnership or relationship, and you may just be needing to bring those elements in to mix it up and to lighten things up. Either you or the other person could be the center of attention, or you may be feeling like you want to be the center of attention with Leo around. And there's also a love of luxuries with this card. Be careful you do not overspend. So loving luxury, lots of social activities, concerts, all kinds of outdoor activities and all kinds of lovely evening activities, night clubbing, all sorts of things, whatever it may be. It's going out, enjoying all of that. And also lavishing or feeling lavished, that may be coming in for you in this relationship as well. It could also be that you are being treated like royalty, like a king or a queen, or you may feel the urge to do that with your partner, if it's a love partner. But it is certainly about tapping into your heart's desire with this relationship, being playful, and so on. If it's a business partnership, then it certainly is a lot of creativity, and it could, as I said, be entertaining a lot, going out a lot, and just really enjoying life and being spontaneous and creative in that partnership. The other side of it is also pride and arrogance. So be careful of those elements coming in on your seventh house. Then in the eighth house is Saturn Truth. Eighth house is the next step on. If it's a committed relationship, this is the next level. So this is the deeper sexual commitment, or any kind of sexuality, whether it's yours or in your partnership. If you may not be in a partnership, so then therefore it could be yours. It's everything to do with sexuality. It's also everything to do with merging one with another, whether it's a committed love relationship or a business partnership. So it's the merging of your material and emotional resources. It's also the house of death, but it's more than likely symbolic death. So this could be followed closely on, by renewal or regeneration. So things changing, things transforming. All right. It's also the house of big finance. So, and I feel this is more important actually with this card coming in, but it's lessons to be learned in any case. So big finance will be investments, taxes, insurance, assets, banking, accounting, anything like that. Also inheritances and legacies. So, and Saturn is particularly, you've got to watch Saturn when it comes to taxes. So make sure your taxes are in order, because you could suffer a bit of a loss with Saturn around, or some kind of correction going on. So Saturn is all about assessment of what is working and what is not working. And that may come about sometimes through a loss or some kind of correction that goes down. But it's a face it card. So what things need to be, what needs to be faced in this house. It's also about bringing in structure and stability. Perhaps that needs to be brought in if you're in a business or in a partnership, a love partnership, and you need to create structure and stability, responsibility. That's what this card is all about. Facing lessons, learning lessons, working hard. And that is to create a really stable, strong foundation, because you have achievement from that. So perhaps you are requiring to bring structure into this partnership, whatever it may be, to get the best out of it. But it can also just be that you are taking a realistic look at everything, and perhaps you need to do that. There could be a bit of austerity coming in, since it is a finance house. There could be a bit of a belt tightening happening. It could also be that you are dealing with authorities of some kind. And with Saturn, that is all about that. Saturn is all about authority. And karma comes in, karmic lessons and rules, fairness, the face it card. You won't get away with much under the rays of Saturn. So it's also very much, as I said, taxes are indicated with this card, so just be aware of that. But it's all about rules. It's a slow-moving energy. Things take time. There's no quick fix with Saturn around. You've really got no choice but to just get to it, get to the nuts and bolts, and work with the Saturn energy, because when you do that, you can really learn a lot, and you can bring a lot of structure and stability in, which then is the springboard for achievement. In the 9th house, we have another Saturn card, Saturn return age. So this is Saturn going right the way around the chart. It does this at the age of about 29, and then again at about the age of 58 or so. So it does a complete revolution, normally twice in everybody's life. So when it does that revolution and it comes back to its same spot, it's all about hindsight, wisdom gained from the last period that it was going around. So no matter where you are, at what age you are in your cycle, this is about gaining wisdom, getting insight into things, facing things, the realistic side of things, and learning lessons from that. And this is because it's a return. It's got hindsight to it. There's looking back as well. So now 9th house covers quite a few different aspects, but it's normally associated with all things international or foreign. So whether you're learning about those things, or you're interacting with people from around the world, or you are traveling, or you want to travel, or you're just exploring with your mind. And adventure and exploration falls under the 9th house. It's also intuition. So, as I said, exploring with your mind, whether you're learning concepts, it does cover higher education. So this is university level and adult education. And it's also understanding things, the deeper meaning of life, the search for truth, which falls under the rays of philosophy, religion, and all belief systems. It's also the house of teaching, whether you're being taught or you are a teacher, and it's also about all forms of public relations and promotional work. It's also about publishing, because with publishing you are reaching a wider audience, and that could very well be international. It's also about the higher courts and the law. So you could be learning about the law, or you could be involved in a legal issue of some kind, or you're working in that profession. Relationship to in-laws, and so on. So it really is, it's intuition is highly indicated, faith, wisdom, seeking the truth, and then also exploring an adventure, whether that's locally, sort of, it's got an international flavor to it, meeting the world. So with this card, there's not a lot of fun with Saturn going on, and you will have to buckle down. There will be some important things that have got to be built here, foundations, because anything that is wobbly or didn't work or isn't working, it will just crumble, and then you'll have to start again. But there is an aspect with this card, as I said, because it's coming round, it implies the past. So it's some of you may have the feeling of, have I run out of time? Should I have done this, or should I have done that? Or was I meant to do this, or was I meant to do that? It's kind of that energy where you're kind of looking back and making an assessment. But during that assessment process, there's freedom that comes with that, because now when you have that incredible wisdom by looking at the past, you can now release and redirect the energy that was directed in a different direction and change it. And then there is freedom in that. And it acts like a catalyst to push you forward into where you should be, or where you want to be, or where you were meant to be. So there's that lovely, lovely aspect. It's hard, and it can be very tough, and there may be loss involved, but it does give you that wisdom to be able to apply it to your current situation, to say, okay, well, what do I need to change here now? So it's got a release and a redirect energy. There's a correction energy. So what has worked or not worked? It's the summing up of all that, and then taking responsibility for your own goals and dreams, not somebody else's, not your partner or your children or your parent. Responsibility for your own goals and dreams, and then you've got to put the work in with this. So be careful what you choose. Choose what is, obviously right for you, and then you're going to have to apply yourself to that. It's also about reaching down into yourself for your authentic self. In some way, it needs to be coming out in the 9th house. So it's your authentic self and the expression of that as well. It might be to a wider audience, as I said, because it's got an international flavor. There's international travel associated with this card. It's also about reaching for knowledge, which is worldwide knowledge. But whatever you build during this period in the 9th house, whatever you sort of lay a foundation for, or you build, will have a sort of a solidness to it, and the opportunity for growth and fulfillment from that is very good. But you will have to put the work in on that. In the 10th house, we have Earth element stability. 10th house is the house of career, fame, reputation, and also authority figures or authoritative institutions. Any sort of authority figure. This can be in your home, like a parent or some other person, or it can be in your workplace, it can be in your career, or it can be somebody that you just look up to, So it's also very much about your public status, your public standing. Are you single? Are you married? Are you an employer? Are you an employee? What is your status? So with Earth element stability coming in, you either need to bring the stability in for you, or it's going to come in for you in some way. So it's asking you to be firmly rooted, even in high wind. So whatever's going on, whatever's happening, you need to be firmly rooted. So the potential for stability with this card is very good. The potential for growth and planting things. It's very much about growing things, this card. Growth and planting. Because it's Earth, it's slow moving. You could be making very, very good contacts at this time with this card around. And with this energy. And also maybe going into business. or something to do with that, or you could be involved in a new business and you're making good contacts. This card also, because it represents the earth element, sometimes too much earth can make you very heavy, very serious, but it can also make you incredibly stubborn or fixed, so fixed that you can't change and grow or move forward. And this is asking you to try new things. New action is required. Try new things. So let go of the old fixed mindsets or ideas or fixed views that just don't serve you anymore. Try new things, change it up, because new action is required. It's also everything to do with land, property, money matters, and also growing things. So, it could be that you physically need to get your hands in the soil. But it's got an earthy nature quality to it. So spending time in nature or being close to nature in some way, whether it's a profession or something that you aspire to, or you just like to, spend time in nature, it's going to be helpful for you. But it is really about growing and planting things and being solid, but not so solid that you can't adapt and change and try new things. That's really the energy of this. Then in the 11th house, we have Pluto transformation. So this card is bringing that energy in for you. It's all about taking something and transforming it to something else. It can be quite a forceful change, or there could be a bit of a power struggle about that with this card coming in. But the 11th house is all about your friendships, and it's also your contacts and your networks. It's also about any kind of group that you may be a member of, so group consciousness and any group activity you may be involved in. So this is like associations, societies, any group. It could even be a sports club where you're involved in a sort of an endeavor with others. So it has that sort of group mindset to it, but it's also very much about following trends and global consciousness and social reform, anything like that. But it's being able to track social trends, which may be a profession for you, or you may just need to do that for something that you're personally working on, because this house can also rule your own hobbies and interests. So it could be that you are changing friendships, or your friendship set is changing. Perhaps there are a few people in your group which are changing. Or it could be your social groups or your groups that you are a member of, whether it's an online group or a physical group. There could be changes going on there. Perhaps you need to transform, perhaps you need to let go of some and try new ones. But this house is also very much about your personal hopes and wishes. So, and this is transforming of anything in this house. So it's basically the old makes way for the new with this energy coming in. So you may just have to let go of certain things to move forward onto new things, and let go of things that are not working for you, or you feel you need to energetically let go. Perhaps they're low vibration, you don't want to do them anymore, you're moving on to better things. Because this is Pluto, it rules the underworld. So anything from the underworld or anything hidden or anything under the surface is more than likely going to come out. So this could be intrigues or secrets or hidden things, hidden feelings, hidden situations, maybe rising to the surface now to be dealt with, and then they get transformed. So once they're seen and you can see them, then you can transform them. But there is also a regeneration and renewal energy about this. So you could be rekindling an old friendship that you haven't, that has been laying fallow for a long time. That could be undergoing a renewal, or perhaps you're rejoining a group that you didn't, you haven't been to for a while. But there's a regeneration and a renewal energy to this. There could also be, like I said, a few power struggles or control issues going on, whether this is with a friendship or in a group that you're, sort of involved in, or it could be some other larger situation that you're involved in. So a bit of power or a bit of manipulation going on there. Ensure that you are not doing that, because it could backfire on you horribly. So there's going to be intensity over something in this house. Intensity, because that is Pluto. But it's always about bringing the new in. So see where that is working for you. And also you may be seeing things from the past. You may be seeing them differently now. There may be a bit of disappointment there. So you may be seeing something now that you thought was one way, but when you look at it now, you realize that it actually wasn't that way at all. So the past comes in with Pluto as well. Then in the 12th house, we have void, of course, moon missing. So 12th house is everything to do with the unconscious. It's also the house of solitude, reflection, and retreat, seclusion. It rules your spiritual life and meditation, mysticism, healing, everything to do with that. It also covers escapism and addictions of all kinds. This is the house of service to others. So that may be a profession for you. So you may be in a helping profession. It's also the house of karmic lessons and your experiences in institutions of all kinds. So whether that's libraries, universities, government institutions, hospitals, and so on. So now with void of course moon missing, this is a no action card. So somewhere during the course of the month, it may only be about a week or so, could be a little bit longer, but it's basically this is the card where it's time to just sleep, dream, and plan, and do this in between your other activities. So take time out to retreat and withdraw periodically, because that's going to assist you. And there may just be a period, as I say, during the course of the month where you really need to do this. It's a really great time for meditation and retreat while this is in effect. The moon goes quiet between signs when it's changing, so you don't have the rays of the moon to see things as they are. So things are not what they seem under this influence. So it's not a good time to be initiating new things or new actions or putting a lot of energy into something that you want, because it could go awry. You'll either get the wrong result or no result, or there will be a cancellation or a delay, or things just won't work, or it will be a wasted effort or a mistake or a misjudgment of some kind or a wrong choice. So rather just stay quiet during this period, and just avoid, if you can, anything new or untried during this period. Just wait until the energies have shifted and then see how you go, because things are not what they seem, and you want to expend your energy on something you want in your life. You don't want to waste your time doing something, or waste money doing something and then it doesn't actually work because the timing was off, So just think about that and see how the energies go for you. Okay, Gemini, hope you enjoyed that. Please don't forget to like and share, or like and subscribe, and take care, and I will see you next time.